Hey guys, how's it going? Conspiracy theorist here. No, I'm Crandis, or Kevin. So today's vlog is, I guess, about the world epidemic and the virus of this. Well, actually, on another note, I guess the other virus is like this guy over here. So, yeah. Today, before I get into the world virus of Pokemon Go, I just want to give a little intake on this madman here, megalomaniac, top manipulator, and basically he's a businessman. Don't get me wrong. So I know there's she's not a really good choice either, but he's not that great either. My thoughts on this is basically because one, he's a businessman. He'll say what it takes to get your vote. So no idea what the hell his agenda is. I don't know why nobody sees this. Secondly, you ask him any hard questions, or I've looked at other interviews, he just literally freezes and stutters and has really nothing to say. And I don't know how pragmatic that is at a world leader table board. So say you had a table full of world leaders, for instance, right? You're trying to have a diplomatic discussion with other countries, and this guy here would just be like, no, we'll do this, and then like screw out everything. And he's got a pretty bad track of screwing over small businesses. So if you're an entrepreneur or you're like trying to do a startup or a small business or whatever, I don't think you're gonna do very well. The whole outlandish statements of like, I'm gonna build a wall, you know what? I hope you fucking do build a wall, because keep that shit within your country if you get elected in. If not, I'm like, please keep the wall there, so I'll stay the fuck out. I'll happily do it. The other thing is like, on top of that, it's not just build a wall, it's that saying something like, we'll charge the Mexicans to build it. I don't know what the fuck that even means. It's like, you're gonna build a wall to push people out, and secondly, you're gonna charge another country to do it. So altogether, it's baffling. It's like, okay, so one, you're gonna destroy jobs. So I'm looking at this objectively, right? So if you're gonna build a wall, obviously you're gonna need people to build it. But if you're gonna charge the Mexicans to do it, well, then that means you're not making any new jobs in your own country. And then secondly, you're excluding a country and a whole race of people, and that is actually like a lot of them live in the country. So, anyways, that's it about that. So back to the world virus. Pokemon Go. Oh my god, this is literally like a zombie apocalypse. I don't have it installed. It's not because I'm trying to be like a hipster or whatever. It's literally because I don't think it's I don't think it's a good thing. Like, there's positives and negatives to both of them. I'm not just going to be a lopsided negativity about this thing. Like, although I do believe currently, so don't really like go all ape shit on me. Currently, I believe there's more negatives than positives. I feel the game needs to be really fine tuned in order for it to be an actual good app, for instance. And with like the whole hype culture and the whole nostalgia culture all mixing together, and the fact that it's like a social game as well, sort of social game. It's literally like a world virus. Like, I'm actually quite terrified. Like, last night I went out with a pal and we went to go eat some snacks late at night. Generally we don't see anybody, right? But since Pokemon's inception and release, we just see random people walking into like restaurants and places, or like fast foods. We were just sitting at McDonald's enjoying like an apple pie and some iced coffee at about like 12:30 at night, and a lot of people just like walking into the door, phones held in their hands. It's quite obvious like what they're doing. I mean, when you walk into a restaurant, you almost never have your phone in your hand out in the first thing. Like, you always pull it out afterwards or something. You don't walk in going like this all over the damn place. It's pretty apparent. And I actually had to write out part of this vlog with side notes here to make my points come across. So the terrifying things that I have about in my head is that with all the recent disasters around the world, and I don't mean like natural disasters, I mean like human inflicted disasters, such as like tragedies, bombings. I don't really like to talk about these things because I feel like it's really sensitive material, but this time around I'm going to do it. There's disasters, there's the bombings, the attacks, shootings in US, bombings in France. It's just crazy. And then the fact that you guys are all playing Pokemon Go, like, I would say a good 99% of the population is playing. I'm pretty sure I'm part of the 1% that doesn't want to play it. I don't want to install it on my phone either, for other reasons, because of security issues. The other part is that, like, you see people congregating at like massive spots, right? I've heard like even the White House is a gym or whatever. I don't even know how safe that could be. If you have a horde of people that just congregate at one area, you're now making a hotspot to, like the terrifying things like it's like I don't know if anybody has connected these dots, but it's pretty obvious. It's like you see it all over the media, but then now you see people just like gathering in places, right? And then there's other people that are like using burner phones and just throwing lures out there, and then you all gather and then get mugged on the spot, kind of thing. That's pretty dangerous. I don't know about you, but that's more of the serious negative side. Assuming you're living in a pretty okay neighborhood, I would assume that you won't really run into those kinds of problems if you congregate at places with people, like at a Poke Stop or whatever. But one issue that like me and my friend were discussing about was the fact that you can have like 20, 40-year-olds or like, just adults, right, playing this game, and then say a rare Pokemon spawns at an elementary school, right? And then just in the middle of the day, you see like 40, 50, 60 like full-grown adults just charging at an elementary school where there's kids and stuff playing, right? That to me is a little fucked up. There should be some sort of like regulation or areas where it should be just straight up off limits. It just doesn't seem very safe, if you ask me. On the positive side, though, so a little bit off from the negatives, but on the positive side, it does get people going outside, which is good. It gets a lot of people going outside. I assume you would probably meet a lot more people. You would share things and things that you guys caught together. But that's one of the things that is really, really problematic these days, is that not a lot of people actually go out to do things. This seems like a pretty interesting activity that everybody seems to do. It's got the hype culture that like massive media has covered it. It's spread across virally. It has nostalgia and reminiscent culture in it, so it also hits like all age ranges of people who grew up in that time frame. Because I grew up with the 151 Pokemon rap, and then there's also the entire whole like everybody's out at almost every hour. It's pretty nice to see that there's people out at any kind of hours, but at the same time that's also a negative thing too in some sense. It makes the city feel more lively when you're just driving around at like 1 a.m. You see like groups of people just walking around, but the negative part is that it's also really depressing to see everybody staring at their phone even more so now than before. So rather than people just walking and talking, I just see everybody walking and looking at their phone and aiming the thing around. And that to me looks literally like a zombie apocalypse. You are all walking around like zombies, holding a phone and just staring at it, walking down in that same position, literally like staring down like this. And you're moving forward. And I don't even know if people are watching the roads when they cross. Like, I swear to God, there's going to be like the accident rates are going to go up. The unintentional like rear endings or car hittings or whatever, it's just all going to go upwards. So I'm like, just be really cautious. Like, remember what you're doing, what's important, and don't go crazy. Because I saw that one clip of the New York clip where a Vaporeon spawned, and literally it looks like an apocalypse is happening if you don't know the context of what's going on. It's the fact that one Pokemon spawned somewhere, and everybody, like traffic literally just stopped. People jumped out of their cars. I mean, it was kind of a sight to see, but at the same time, if that happens quite frequently, that's really problematic. There's both positives and negatives to it. Right now, I just feel like there's more negatives there are than positives for Pokemon Go. I feel like they should be fine-tuned. Some of the security things I mentioned earlier that I don't install it is because one, it wants access to things I don't want an app ever access to, like such as my personal Gmail or like my contacts. Why the hell does it need contacts? If anything, it only needs my location because the game is location based. And that's about it. It shouldn't really need access to all those other things. That's some pretty deep root shit. So you guys should kind of be careful with that too. Unless, of course, you have nothing worth on your phone, then whatever, or on your accounts. The one last thing I wanted to say was, like, electronics were meant to augment our life, not have your life get consumed by it. So, electronics was always like a tool, right? It's supposed to just help you out and whatever, but it's not really supposed to take over like your daily activities, and that's what it seems like it's doing. So it's terrifying. I mean, if you guys never saw the vlog about where I was talking about the 3 most terrifying things that I'm scared of. It's well, this is kind of one of them. It's sort of like AI, but this is, you know what this is like? This is like an MMO that has become real life. Okay, I am so fucking scared when PvP comes out. You guys are gonna have like non-consensual PvP, and it's already happening. I mean, some people got arrested for it. Like, holy shit, throw a lure out there and then just like go like stick up the person and then take their wallet and whatever. I'm like, holy shit, that's I'm like, yeah, I'm like, that's a thing. So don't, you know, just be cautious with what you're doing. That's what I want. I really wanted to tell that to you guys. I mean, I'm a very small YouTuber, but you know, I gotta say some things that just really need to be said if they haven't already. I'm probably late to this wagon anyways, whatever. But yeah, that's yeah. Here's I guess like the funny thing for kids now these days is like your parents will be asking you, what were you doing out so late at 3 in the morning? Where were you tonight? What the fuck are you doing out so late? And then your excuse is like, I was out catching Pokemon with like 300 other people out at this hour too. And then your parents is like, lies, no one does this, this is insanity. And then you're like, mom, just come with me. And then you take her there, and then you go to a Pokestop where there's like 3 stops or whatever, and then you know, to like a mall parking lot.
Insanity. Insanity.
Oh, fucking hell. Massive crowd of people there. There's more people coming.
It's insanity. This entire mall is like filled with people. Because this mall's closed by now.
Yeah,
all these cars are for that.
Yeah, there's literally no reason to have that many cars in the parking lot at 12 midnight. And look, see, everyone's doing the same thing, and then there's tons of people out at this hour. Good game. Man, parenting is gonna be so hard. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. I hope this gave you some insight. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.